The Love Boat, Sitting Bull, and Secretariat are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is May 5th, 2022. It is the 125th day of the year. You got 240 days left to turn this into a good year. It is the 18th Thursday in the 19th week in the 47th day of spring, and we got 47 days until summer. We're at the midway point, folks. I am not a summer guy. I was when I was young because I lived like 4 blocks off the beach, and that's where we all hung out at the beach. And I loved the summer, plus I got out of school. These days, I don't know what it is. Somewhere around my 20s, I just started liking cold weather more. Strange. So I suffer through the summer, especially now that I'm a little older and a little bigger. Summers are not thick dude weather. If today's your birthday, your birthstone is an emerald and you are a Taurus. Today is May 5th, which means it's Cinco de Mayo, and we talked about that last year, so we're not going to talk about it again. Today is also National Totally Chipotle Day. Sounds like a good day, fits in line with Cinco de Mayo. Each year on May 5th, National Chipotle Day celebrates right alongside Cinco de Mayo and is dedicated to Chipotle, a smoked, dried jalapeno pepper. That's all Chipotle really is. Everyone just thinks it's the name of a restaurant. No, it's actually a thing. There are different varieties of jalapenos, and they vary in size and heat. At one point, you could only find Chipotles in like southern Mexico, and that was about it. As Mexican food became more popular in the more northern areas of North America, the jalapeno production and processing expanded north into the United States. Now it's kind of like up there with, everything else, mustard, ranch, and all that other stuff. All right, let's see what else May 5th has given us. 1494, on his second voyage to the New World, Christopher Columbus sights Jamaica, landing at Discovery Bay, and declares Jamaica property of the Spanish crown. I understand things are different, but I've just always, even as a young kid learning about this stuff, or the glossed over version you learn in school of Christopher Columbus and all the other explorers, I just found it strange, even back then, that you show up in a land where there's already people living there, stick a flag in the ground, and claim it as your own. That just seems kind of bizarre. But they all did it. Spanish, English, the Dutch, everyone was into it. 1809, Mary Keese becomes the first woman awarded a U.S. patent for the technique of weaving straw with silk and thread. 1824, the first edition of the Manchester Guardian, now it's just called The Guardian, is published. 1835, the first railway in continental Europe opens between Brussels and Mechelen, which are both in Belgium, in case you don't know. 1866, Memorial Day is first celebrated in the United States at Waterloo, New York. I had a drill sergeant on Memorial Day announced all of us that it was Memorial Day. We had no idea. And he goes, "You men are lucky. You serve this country, possibly will lose your life for this country, and you get a day." And then he said, "A McDonald's French fry worker doesn't get a day, either does accountants." 1877, the American Indian Wars. Sitting Bull leads his band of Lakota warriors into Canada to avoid harassment by the United States Army under Colonel Nelson Miles. 1904, pitching against the Philadelphia Athletics at the Huntington Avenue grounds, Cy Young of the Boston Americans throws the first perfect game in modern-era baseball. 1905, the trial of the Stratton brothers case begins in London, England. It marks the first time that fingerprint evidence is used to gain a conviction for a murder. 1973, Secretariat wins the 1973 Kentucky Derby in 1.59 and 2/5 of a second. This record has not been beaten to this day. There's only been one other horse that was under 2 minutes. Secretariat's win beat the average by almost 4 seconds. Now, 4 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're in a race, that's a lot, especially a race that lasts normally around 2 minutes. The only one to ever make it under 2 minutes was Monarchos in 2001, which that whole race was one of the fastest ever run, and he didn't come on till the very end. So that tells me the track was good, everything was great, so all the conditions were perfect. When Secretariat won, the next closest horse was like 2.5 lengths behind him. Everyone else was way behind those two. In 2000, they did this thing on ESPN where they talked about the best athletes of the 1900s. And, they had Jim Thorpe on there and all these great, amazing athletes. Joe Montana. Secretariat was on that list, and he was like number 12. Secretariat is the 9th winner of the American Triple Crown, which is when you win all 3 of the big races, in case you don't know. One of those races was the Belmont Stakes. This race is still considered one of the best horse races ever. Secretariat won that race by 25 lengths. If you win by 5 lengths, that's considered an ass kicking. He won by 25 lengths. I'm not even a horse guy. I don't watch horse racing. That's not my thing. I will watch the Kentucky Derby usually, but this was an amazing event in American history. I've always felt that. The just the life of Secretariat and his racing career was amazing. He went on to live a pretty long life too. He lived till 1989. In my understanding, everything I've read, he had a nice grass field and he was well taken care of. Obviously, they studded him quite a few times, so that's not a bad life if you're a horse. They give you a nice field to run around, nice place to stay, and they bring over women for you. What horse wouldn't love that? Now, I say that knowing that there's going to be someone in the comment section that's going to say they treated that horse horrible. He was forced to race. Yeah, okay. Maybe that's not the perfect scenario for a horse's life, but it is what it is. 1981, Bobby Sands dies in Long Kesh Prison Hospital after a 66-day hunger strike at age 27. He was part of the IRA, or Provisional Irish Republican Army. And, you know, they had done some terroristic things and all this other stuff. It's a long story, and I actually plan on getting into it more next year, so I'm just gonna gloss over this one real quick. But yeah, he died of a hunger strike. Pretty sad. Premiered on May 5th, 1977, The Love Boat, sitcom set on the cruise ship called the Pacific Princess, which follows the romantic and comic adventures of passengers and crew. It won the People's Choice Award for Favorite New TV Comedy Program and was nominated for numerous Emmys and Golden Globes. Never really won anything. Everybody loved this show. I don't know why they didn't win anything. This was such a big show in the late 70s, early 80s. I mean, everybody loved The Love Boat. And, you know, it kind of put cruising in the United States on the map, sort of. I mean, it was always there, but this really brought it the attention to help make it what it is today. I love cruises myself. Anyway, it starred Gavin MacLeod, who just passed away last year, Bernie Kopel, Freddie Grady, Ted Lang, Laura Tweez, Jill Whelan, Ted McGinney, and Patricia Klaus. Now, sadly, I saw this, True Hollywood Story thing, and Lauren Tweez, her career was ruined because she got involved in cocaine at the time. And I mean, 1977 to 1980s, everyone in Hollywood was doing that, but she had a little bit of a problem with it, and it hit the press, and it ruined her career. They fired her from the show and everything else like that. These days, which she brought up on the thing, she would go to rehab and everyone would feel sorry for her, but she was cast out of Hollywood because it became public that that was her problem, and it really ruined her career. She was kicked off the show and everything. I mean, don't get me wrong, doing drugs and letting it affect your career is obviously bad, but, different time, and she would be fine. The Love Boat lasted 250 episodes and came to an end on May 24th, 1986. Born on May 5th, 1982, Vanessa Bryant, best known for her marriage to former NBA superstar Kobe Bryant. She's worked as a model and in the art department of feature films such as Man on Fire and Columbiana. She married Kobe Bryant on April 18, 2001. Together they had daughters named Natalia, Gianna, Bianca, and Capri. She met Kobe Bryant while she was working on a music video. Died on May 5th, 1951, John Flynn. He was a Presbyterian minister who founded the Royal Flying Doctor Service, the world's first air ambulance. He was introduced to the possibility of using airplane for medical service by a pilot, and he helped establish what became in 1934 the Australian Aerial Medical Service. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a productive day, and be nice to each other.